Hey-o, welcome back. Today our project is something I've been waiting to get into. Collected all the parts. It was actually attached to one of my buddies for a while there, so I didn't want to use it until we knew he was going to commit to his setup. But I finally picked up a PI intake manifold, so we're going to be putting this guy back in. And the crazy thing about this is the PI intake manifold compared to the Dorman intake manifold that they say is OE replacement. And I'll show you guys later, it'll probably be the thumbnail too, but the size comparison from like the tubing, like the tunnel down here, it's like 2.5–3 inches of difference between that. So it won't be a crazy gain, but most of the information I've seen on them, it's like a gain of 20 horsepower compared to this Dorman, sorry excuse, intake manifold. I mean, it gets your car running. if you need it in a pinch, you're gonna get down the road, but it just starves your air intake. So, but it's pretty exciting. It's gonna be quite a job though. There's a lot to pull off on the top. You gotta pretty much undo your serpentine, alternator, throttle body, all that needs to come off just to get to the intake. But it should be good. I've got, oh yeah, I almost forgot about that. One of the coolest parts is this install is going to be, I also got new intake or coil packs. Got new coil packs. So I'm trying out the MSD Streetfire coil packs. So we've got coil packs. I bought new O-rings and pinto caps for the injectors. Putting the PI manifold on, and I have another throttle body, but it has it's a bigger intake or inlet. So I'm not sure if I want to like commit to it yet, because I do have this other intake to put on. It's like an air raid, but I don't know if I want to commit to that yet, so I might just do all of the upgrades that all the upgrades that I have right now, like the switching back to the PI manifold and the coil packs, because the throttle body is pretty easy to get to. It's just like 6 bolts, 4 on the throttle, or I mean, damn, can't speak right now. 4 on the intake manifold, and then these 2, and then the rest kind of you can keep together as one unit. But yeah, I'm gonna dust it off because we live in a desert. I'm gonna dust it off, and then I want to do the, I don't know if there will be any like sound difference, but I'm curious to see if there's any noticeable sound difference between the Dorman intake and this one. So I'll probably do a sound clip whenever I start it up, because I gotta move it and try to not get murdered by the sun. Because it'd be brutal out here. So yeah, that's my next objective. Dust her off. It's not what she said, rooster. Alright, I'm gonna dust it off, and then I'll probably do the sound clip Probably just the exhaust on the back, because I think that's where we're going to notice it. I don't think there'll be much in the engine bay difference at all. So yeah, do that, dust it off. I think I'm good. I think I got it. I gotta go get the coil packs out of the house, but everything's out here. Got all my stuffs, all my gaskets and O-rings, and take them out of the side so they don't die. And this is another thing. I did a thing. So now I have 3 of them. Does that mean I have a problem? Yeah, it's a 4.6 problem. The dust commence. One of the coolest parts of the whole entire job. And I just left them inside. Pretty excited. Me and my buddy both picked this up. I think it's gonna help with the idle and a little more consistent throttle response, which is, if it does what they say it does, I'm pretty excited about that, because the throttle response in these is like laggy, like sluggish even. So if that can pick it up any, plus I put ghetto rigged, what would you say, that ghetto rigged my throttle cable right next to my pedal and put zip ties on it to pull the cord in more, which helped. So we'll see. I'm gonna do a warm cold start. It's really warm outside, but I haven't started the car yet. So pretty cool if it did, huh? And let's do a little rev here. Just a little induction noise. Man, it is hot. Alright. I'm gonna start taking things apart. Seems as though most of it is 8mm and 10mm, but I do need to take the hardware off of this, and I'm hoping I have most of it, because this is my old PI manifold. But back whenever I first got it, I didn't even really talk about, I should do a little like sit down and talk about the car, because whenever I got this, it's like a horror story. Went into a loan to get it. Long story short, I drove it up here with a oil leak that I didn't know about. Ended up throwing a bearing, so it kind of sat for like 2.5, 3 years until I finally decided to just try it myself. But anyways, when I took that off, whenever I took all this out and took that off, I was threading in the bolts so I knew where they were and they were where I could find them. And I threaded one in too much. And when I went to, like, I don't know why I did it, but I tightened it a little bit. And as soon as I tightened it, I just heard this little like plastic kind of crack. So I'm pretty sure I aced my original PI manifold. So never used it. I was gonna put it on this motor whenever I swapped it in, but I just didn't want to trust it. So unfortunately went with the not so good replacement, the OE replacement. And now we're going back. So yeah, I think it's kind of universal. I think the other ones are either 8 mil or 10 mil, but we'll find out. Right now though, with the Dorman, all the throttle body ones are 8. The bracket for the alternator's 8 millimeter, and most of the other stuff looks like 10. So I'm gonna start pulling stuff. Try to be really careful with this stuff. Pretty. Your valve. Need your vacuum regulator. It's being a pain in the butt. Get that clip on me. Now let me try it. Came off real easy. Did we get it? Alright. Cool. Crossover tubes though. Good. Okay. Into the other throttle body that I have, this inlet piece that goes in to your valve, or whatever you would want to call that. Your valve. It's quite a bit bigger. I'm gonna show you. I'm halfway thinking about doing it because it's like the while you're there's. It's a trick flow, And I think it's like a little trick flow with an Accufab throttle body, I guess. But it's quite a bit bigger than that one. Dang, I might as well just do it, right? Alright. I don't know if you can see me. Negative first, negative last. Okay. So just I believe it's a 3/8 drive. So like standard. And then okay. I usually like to put all the nuts back if I don't think it'll cause like a problem. Let go of it, you PCV valve. There we go. Bolts, so I'm just gonna save them for the stock one, so it'll have its own set. Okay, bracket for the vacuum regulator. Out of the way. Delete the cruise control on this anyways, because they act sketchy on these cars. There's one time I was trying to use it and I was trying to set it, and then all of a sudden it locked and just went to the floor and started accelerating on the freeway. Ever since that day I just never used it, because I'm like, dude, this thing's gonna murder me, you know? It's gonna take the pedal away from me and then I'm not gonna be able to stop it. I'm gonna have to turn the car off or something. Imagine explaining that to the officer. My car, it just started going. Took the pedal away from my foot. I couldn't stop it. Okay. Your map and the EGR vacuum regulator out of the way. Unplugging the injectors and coil packs. Some of my clips are busted, which I am bummed about. I don't really want to solder on any new ones right now. I'd rather just try to source a good replacement top piece of the harness. Back. driver's side is so much easier. Shit's back there. I'm hoping I can just lay both sides of the fuel rails, just flop it this way instead of undoing it, because I'm already gonna have to bleed it here, and then you gotta know that there's a bunch that is gonna come out at you. Four on the top. Alright, that should do it for the throttle body. Yeah. I do like the horse on the top, but I'll show you in a second. One of the main reasons why we're finally switching it out, like as a necessity, like it's, I don't know if I said in any of the other videos, but it's like a happy necessary upgrade swap, because I'm about to show you those back two bracket bolts. Once you pull them off, the last time I undid it, coolant, well, distilled water from the coolant bypass there just started popping out. So somehow distilled water eroded the bottom part of those towers that those bolts go into, and it's shooting up liquid. So I don't know, I've never had a coolant bypass do that, but maybe it's a Dorman thing. You can even see on the bolts, they're like turning white from the coolant coming up after them. You just need to loosen these bottom ones for the alternator, because they're like directly on the block, and they're like a C, not a full-on casted like loop for the bolt to go through. It's just a C. Oh no, I forgot about that one. Another, oh, okay. Now alternator. Have to come up on a battery change. Yeah, not doing so hot in the hot. Just loosen them, and then I'll come back through with the electric. Because I think I can, yeah, I can reach all of them. Yeah, it's like they were just sitting, like resting on it, not holding on to it. Alright, that's the coil packs. We're almost there. It's not going too bad. I think the next thing I'll do before I do the fuel rail stuff is the coolant. And I think I'll just drain some from the radiator. Hopefully it'll, you know, drain down, and I'll be able to pop the thermostat housing apart, and there won't be too much. But there's going to be some liquid trapped near the, right by my face, trapped by the bypass and then the back section. But yeah, a little bit of coolant drain, and then I'll let the pressure out of the fuel rails, and then I should be able to take that off, pop the injectors out, and then I'll do the O-ring and pintle cap like maintenance stuff, set those guys up. Then we'll pull the manifold off. Yeah. Alright, back. Okay. Man, I'm getting kind of more excited now that I took the old coil packs out. Man, they just like, I guess the rubber is letting go, or I don't know. But whenever I pulled them out, like most of them just kind of slipped out like they weren't holding anything. So it makes me kind of more excited for the new ones. Not only for the potential like slight throttle response, like what am I trying to say? Like the responsiveness that it might gain me, but maybe, well, it's definitely going to be more snug. They're brand new, right? But I'm excited for all that. Man, that's some roady water. I want to do a coolant flush after I get everything back in. Oh no. Oh my god. Ah. This is not working. I saw this on like life hacks, something on Instagram. That's what's up. That shit works. Alright. Ooh. Let's get something to press this. Looks like an air nipple for like your tire, but it's for the fuel rails. And then just guide yourself in. Okay. Yeah, we're good. That just helps. There's still going to be plenty of fuel dropping out. Loosen them. Yeah. See if we can't do the same thing. Oh, nice. 2. Yeah. Ooh. No, that's a lot. Ooh. That's a lot. Okay. I think that's as good as we're gonna get. All right. Get in there and then just give it a good whoop. Yeah, it does work. No way. afraid of that. Just kind of bent it. Damn. Put it back close, but I think I'd be kind of foolish to reuse it after it's bent. So I popped this one off, so I'm going to be a little more careful with... You put directly in the electrical connection, but even if you do with the electrical port spinner, by the time you set it down, it'll be dry, but definitely before you even plug it back in, it'll be more dry. Let's do that. Man, I told you, hungry. Don't mess up. Calm down. I mean, it is. Damn. Okay. There's all of them. I think it's different on this one. Side over. This one is busted. Comparison I was telling you about. Look at that. Maybe more than that. Maybe 3.5 inches. That's where your 20 horsepower is coming from. That's crazy. Right. So that extra space fits perfectly right down in there. So the other one does not utilize all of that space, which is unfortunate because 20 horsepower in these motors, you need every horsepower you can get. You only got 260 from the factory, and whatever fun bits you put on it. I mean, I'd be lucky if this car pushes 240 right now, 220 maybe. Maybe I'll be lucky if I get 220 or 240 out of it when I put it all back together, which is really sad because it's, you know, you think V8, you think it should be able to push a good amount of power. These modular ones, these 4.6 ones in particular, unless you do some fancy bits to it, some tomfooleries, some tunes, something like that, you just don't got a lot. It's just sad. And it's not like a 2JZ or you know, some kind of engine that just stock you can tweak the fuel system and the tune a little bit and then you get amazing horsepower, because I think you can get like 6, almost 7 off of a stock bottom end in a 2J. So these, I mean, you'll be lucky on stock internals. Like maybe if you build the heads, and then maybe you build the heads, you can push 4 or above, maybe a little above 4, but you're pushing it. Like you could blow it up, you know, you could wreck something. So maybe if you do the heads and then the timing components, you can push over 4 pretty safe. That would be a guess. Don't quote me on it, but they just don't have a lot in them. So you build them, and then they can have a good amount, like 600-700, pretty consistently. I've heard numbers like that pretty consistently. But I don't know. I think if a 5-liter is obtainable for me, it might be in the future. You know, fix this guy up, sell it. Maybe, I don't know. Because the cool thing about the 5-liters, they're modular too. And the, what is it, 3650? Or 3650 trans, the T45, the T56 Magnum, all of those bolt straight up to the 5-liter. I think you have to switch the bell housing, maybe. I'm not 100% on that. I think you can just do it regular, because it's the same setup. Damn near the same setup on it, which is so cool, because you can use the Ford 8.8 rear that comes in these, and I think, don't quote me on this, but I think the drive shaft even bolts up the same, because the motor mount position is the same, and I think you can even use the modular, the 4.6 mounts for the 5-liter. So it all kind of like works out. And it's just getting one of those 5-liters. I could probably source a Gen 1, but then I'm kind of limited to around 5 to 6 without building it. The Gen 2 is really where you want to, that's what you want to aim for. But of course, there's like on the S13s and 14s and all that, there's a drift tax on it. The motor has a popularity to it for that. Like right out of the get-go, right out the box, you got 400, and depending on what gen you have, like 420, 426, somewhere around there, right out of the box. Which is, you know, compared to this is 260. What is that, like 150, 160 horsepower gain just by a motor swap? So it's definitely top of mind lately. So I'm gonna try to do what I can with this, put little upgrades, like swap out the intake manifold and the throttle body. Hopefully I can get closer to 3, and I plan to tune it as well. And then I'm hoping I can, with the fuel system I choose to go with, hopefully that can transfer over to a 5-liter. I can use them interchangeably. That way I don't have to like dump 500 on injectors, if I'm lucky. I think that's what I would run them. Some Dish Works 500, 550 for the price. Hopefully they swap through, and then I can just use the fuel system on the new motor swap, because I'd have to do new wiring and new ECU, which I think I can do the Holley Terminator. I believe I researched it a little bit. It's been a while, but I'm pretty sure I can do a Holley Terminator on the 5-liter. And if that's so, I would be pretty stoked on that, because it has like a learning software in it, to where like you just plug it in, start it up, you put like a bass tune on it, and then it like adjusts itself as it goes to your tune. So you can basically put a bass map on it and then let it learn itself for a little bit and then go drive. So but anyways, I keep jaw jacking you. I'm gonna clean up the surfaces, which all of the gaskets came off of it. It's just a little dirt around it. And then I'll probably clean this a little, or the other intake manifold a little bit, because I think the bottom needs cleaning. But I got the, in my opinion, the better Velcro gaskets for these. They just bolt on, or snap on and plug and play. So I'm gonna clean this up and then do that as quickly as possible because I only have 37% battery and I don't know if the other one's charged. Hey everybody, this one took a little longer than I expected. I had actually a lot of complications. Lost 3 out of the 4 batteries I had for this GoPro that day, and then I even had to break it up into 2 days to fix a few things I did anyways, so you know. But I'm gonna cut it here. We'll jump back into the second half in the next episode. So I just pulled off the manifold. I'm gonna clean the surfaces, and after that it'll escalate pretty quickly. I have to like fix the injector pintle caps, and I do believe I say it in another clip in the video, so fix that, then those will go in, manifold, throttle body, intake, and it escalates quickly. So after all of that's said and done and I make it to the radiator, everything escalates pretty quickly. But I did decide to buy some radiator flush, and I'm gonna try it out. I've heard mixed reviews on them, and I've seen a few people use water wetter. It's like a pink liquid. This one's from VP, so we'll try it out after I do the radiator flush, which I'll do in another one. Probably throw it into mixed video because I still have to put the hood struts, like those shocks for the bay hood. I already did the trunk ones, so those are all like clips I'm doing to the car, but I don't think it makes a whole video. I shouldn't, at least in my opinion, I don't feel like I should just do that solely. So I'll do like a bunch of those in like a mashup or something. But anyways, thanks for stopping by. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. It helps me out bunches. Drop a like if you did, and be safe out there. Thanks.